When most people think of Halloween, a rich food tradition doesn't necessarily pop into mind, unless you count, stealing your kids' pumpkin-shaped Reese's out of their Halloween bag. But I think it's time for a Halloween cuisine revolution, because there are some rich foodie traditions to uphold. The great thing about celebrating with traditional peasant food, which is to say mostly whole foods and mostly plants, is you don't have to endure the sugar hangover or the saturated fat flu the next day. The North American holiday that we call Halloween can most closely be traced back to a Celtic festival called Samhain, which is spelled like this, but sounds like this. There would be a big bonfire, people would dress up, they'd bring gifts to each other, and they would wear animal heads or animal costumes to either ward off or fit in with the spirits. I wonder how a sexy nurse costume would fit into that plan. One of the dishes that the Celts celebrated with was Colcannon, which is a simple peasant dish made with potatoes, big shock there, and kale or cabbage and butter, but with a fun twist. Little trinkets hidden in there to give the eater clues about their future. I'm thinking they probably ate the dish carefully, but also knowing humans, I'm assuming that there were some Colcannon casualties along the way. So let's head to the kitchen and make whole food, plant-based Colcannon. For our Colcannon, we are using 4 sweet potatoes. You can use kale or cabbage. We are going to use kale because we like that more. Now when you're getting the kale ready, you want to make sure to go through and any of these kind of hard stems that you find in there. We have 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You can also use vegetable broth if you're not doing olive oil. A half a cup of plant milk. We like West soy because there's nothing else in it besides soy. And your trinkets. Now these are random trinkets that I found from around the house. I'll show you what we got. I got the letter L Scrabble. I got a guitar pick. This little blue thing, I found that on a walk one day. Thought that was kind of cool. Thimble, I'm pretty sure this is from a Monopoly game. Little elephant, probably from a necklace. Purple rock of some kind. And this little glass hummingbird. So we'll see what the family thinks that says about their future. And then, of course, we have our salt and pepper, which we mostly do at the table. Put these down the middle and get them on the flat side. And then I'm just trying to make the pieces like the same thickness. So now I'll do this with these 2 and get them as close as I can. We'll get that into the water so that we can get the potatoes going. All right, so we've let our potatoes cook for about 15 minutes, depending on the size of your cubes. We are going to drain them and reserve some of the cooking liquid just in case we need it when we mash them up. The starches in there really help to kind of make it smooth. Okay, look at these beauties. So now we're just going to start putting everything else into the dish and mash it up. One thing that you do want to do, this is like a little trick. Kale can be kind of angry. So what you want to do is use a little bit of vegetable oil, a little bit of vegetable broth, or a little bit of the olive oil. We'll just put the rest on here. And you want to massage it a little bit. Just kind of get it to chillax. Like, chill out, man. You don't need to be angry. Okay. I know I talk a lot about potatoes and how awesome they are. They're easy to grow, they're easy to store, they're hella cheap, but they really are good for you. And one of the things that people worry about with potatoes is a spike in blood sugar. And this is a really cool trick for anyone, depending on your health status. Healthy people don't really need to worry about that. But one of the things that you can do with potatoes to blunt that blood sugar spike is just let them cool down. As potatoes cool, their starches firm up and they kind of reshape into a crystalline structure. And that moves more slowly through the digestive tract and releases more slowly into the bloodstream, blunting that blood glucose spike. And even when they're reheated, it doesn't change the structure. And if you add vinegar, it blunts it even more. So hooray for potato salad. All right, we're going to get the rest of these Colcannon ingredients here. Pour our plant milk in there. We're just going to mash this puppy up. Look at that beautiful bright color. Those are all those anthocyanins, antioxidants. I'm going to just put in some crushed black pepper, add a little bit of pink salt, and the pièce de résistance, our trinkets that we found from around the house. And hopefully everybody's careful as they chew on their Colcannon. I'm trying to decide if I'm supposed to tell them ahead of time or just let her buck and find out. Hidden trinkets in there, and whatever your trinket is, says something about your future.
Since I got this, it looks like I stabbed my enemies. In the eye.